Think about some of the recent purchases you've made and why did you actually buy from those brands? Now think about the brands that you bought from the first time. What is it about those brands that you felt a connection to, that you trusted them enough that you wanted to buy from them? Now connection is so important when it comes to your brand. It's so important to build that connection because that's what's going to make someone buy from you. So in today's video, we're going to talk about the different ways you can create connection so that you can build up that trust and also create people that are excited about your brand, love your brand, and are going to become loyal buyers and followers. I'm Tabitha Emma and I'm a brand designer and educator, and today we're going to look at how you can create connection in your branding. So one of the ways that you can create connection that is becoming more and more important is through your brand values. People are becoming more and more conscious about how they want to be spending their money and buying from brands that have similar values and believe in similar things to what they believe in. They don't want to buy from a brand that is doing things that they don't agree with or doesn't align with their own values. They're going to be seeking out and looking for brands that have strong values, actually act on those values, don't just write them out on their website, but actually act on them. And it's something that really aligns with their own values and they feel strongly about. So have a think about some of the things you recently bought, brands that you recently purchased from. Did they have particular values that you felt aligned to? Maybe you wanted something that was eco-friendly, or maybe you wanted something that didn't use any chemicals. Perhaps you wanted to support brands that really support their workers and you don't want to buy from unethical brands. Think about those decisions that you make. Why do you buy from particular brands? Have you ever bought from people because of their values? Now, it might not necessarily be these more bigger world type of values. It can also be values in terms of how they run their business, things like, just being friendly. They value friendliness and you feel a connection to that because you feel like this brand really cares about me, they're really friendly and nice, and I don't feel like I'm just another customer, just money to them, but I feel like they genuinely care about me. All those little values, it can be both big things and small things, they're all going to create a connection. So if you want to build a stronger connection and start to attract the right kind of people, really get clear on those values in your brand, really get clear on what it is that your brand thinks is important, what matters, and make sure that you actually act on that and don't just write them out and put them on your website to look good, but actually think about how is that going to impact every decision you make and make sure that you act that out, bring it to life so that people are going to trust you. The next thing is emotions. Emotions are so powerful in creating connection. So really think about emotions in your branding. Think about the way your audience feels right now. Think about how they want to feel and think about the kinds of emotions you can share through stories you tell and things that you're sharing through your branding. So think about all the emotional elements of your brand and think about ways that you can play on those emotions so you can start to really create connections and connect with your audience in a more deeper way. Another one that's becoming more and more important is transparency. People want brands that are really transparent and really clear about what's going on, what they're doing, that aren't hiding things, that they're not trying to have this shiny facade, but behind the scenes they're hiding things or they're not showing what's genuinely really going on. People want the behind the scenes, they want the transparency, they want to know that they can really trust a brand, and that's going to create a deeper connection because they feel like they actually know you, they feel like they actually understand you, even if you show some of the not so good stuff, because then they're going to feel like I trust this person because I see all the aspects and elements of this brand, not just the shiny front that they put up, but I feel like they're relatable, they're someone that I can understand, they're just like me, they make mistakes, things go wrong, they share the good stuff, the bad stuff, everything. And you don't have to show everything, obviously. You can still have a private life. You don't have to put everything out there on the internet. But it's just about building that trust and connection and being transparent about things and, discussing your processes, showing behind the scenes, talking about the journey, things that you're trying to work on, things that you're doing and the journey involved in all that. Just giving people glimpses of what's really going on and a bit about you yourself so people feel a more deeper connection to you and they don't feel like you're just putting up this shiny front and they can't truly connect with who you are and what's really going on in the brand. And then there's empathy, so really showing that you care about your audience. So not a fake care, but real genuine care where you're talking to people, getting to know them, learning what their struggles are, learning ways that you can better help them, things that you might be able to better offer them because you realize they're struggling in certain areas, really getting to know them deeply and figuring out how you can better and better your brand to serve their needs. So, really talking to your audience, getting to know them. And if someone's saying, I'm struggling with this, but I feel you're not really helping in that area, or I have this issue and I feel like you don't really serve people like me, really getting to know them and finding out if there's any holes or areas that you need to fill in so that you can show you really care about these people, and you realize there's an area that they need more help in, there's an area where they feel like I'm not listening or whatever, and constantly finding new ways to better serve them. So it's not about being perfect and knowing every situation and always showing this perfect empathy all the time to make sure that no one feels left behind, but it's about constantly listening and finding new ways to constantly improve and making sure that you're serving everyone well and not leaving anyone feeling left out or that they don't fit in properly. Next is personality, because people want to get to know the person behind the brand or the brand itself's personality. They're going to feel a deeper connection when they feel there's this personality to it, when feels like there's this actual identity that they can connect with. It doesn't just feel like a shop front that's selling something. There's personality there, and there's much more of an identity that they can attach to. And if it's a personality that they feel a real connection to, they're going to feel more of a connection with the brand. Whereas if it's a personality they don't feel a connection to, then it's not the right brand for them. But it means that you're going to start attracting more of the right people, the people that you really connect with and are the people that you want to attract, because you've put out that personality and you're drawing in the right kind of people. And finally, one that ties them all together is telling stories. In all aspects, to create connection, you want to be telling stories. So think about different areas of your brand, things like your personality. Make sure that your personality shines through. With transparency, it could be stories about behind the scenes or things that's going on in your business, the journey along the way, things that you're working on and doing. And with your values, you can tell stories that relate to your brand values. So in so many aspects, you can be telling stories, and that's really going to create connection. It's going to play on emotions, it's going to really showcase your personality, and it's going to create connection because people really connect through stories. It's one thing just to tell people something about your business, but when you connect to them through stories, and this can be actual written stories or it can be stories visual storytelling as well. So telling stories through your branding, that's really going to create even more connection. Connection is so important when it comes to building a strong brand and having people actually feel like they trust you and want to buy from you. So I hope this got you thinking about how you can create more connection in your branding. And if you'd like to learn more about branding, graphic design, and creativity, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.